Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy belated Merry Christmas. Happy everything. And I'm so glad you're here. I love Sunday because it brings me closer to you. Yeah. So, welcome to the Advancement Center. Welcome to the world of magic and miracles that we are all living right now. And right now, I'm going to start by reading from my journal. And for those of you who do not know Simeon, Simeon is my husband, Robert's brother, who dwells in another realm. And here he is. These are very precious. I can't tell you how many dozens of these books I have. And this morning at 7:42, I wrote, "Dearest Simeon, my broadcast is in less than 5 hours, and there is so much I guess I can't read and there's so much material. I can't read my own writing. My family, my birthday celebration, discovering all my wealth in silver. Talk about that later. The joys of cooking together, appreciating each one at the table, and the absolute thrill of Danny taking over the main course and making the angel fruit cake and carrying on the family tradition. My topic, traditions. Any suggestions? And within a split 3 seconds, he always answers me. And he wrote, "Dearest Barbara, your recognition and appreciation of your full life is enough. Your eyes sparkle and your words will follow. We love and adore you, Simeon." So that was my kickoff to getting ready to be with you right now. Something new has been added because I've had this for years and years and years. And Claudia, who just packed up my things from Connecticut, brought me that little angel. You see her? She's almost on my shoulder, but she sits on the edge and she just spreads her angelic joy and happiness to all of you. I wrote a few little words here, and I'll read them. The title of this broadcast could be Too Busy Living to Write a Memoir. There is so much more to experience. Living life by celebrating each day and exchanging ideas and gifts and traditions across the world without limits. What a wonderful world we are creating when we celebrate together. Christmas, a very special time. And it's never too late to say Merry Christmas. So I'm going to tell you about our Christmas dinner and our Christmas guests. And two that came in from the furthest distance was Danny, my son, and his lovely wife, Claudia. They flew in to celebrate and experienced, if you live in California, the biggest rainfall we've ever experienced. There were floods everywhere. And as they went around Los Angeles to visit all their relatives, all I kept texting them was, be safe, be safe. Do not go to the flooded areas. Well, it all worked out well. And they were safe. And they were here in time for the Christmas. And David, my oldest son, is just back from an amazing trip to Africa. And he also happens to be a world-class photographer. And his sharing of his photographs is amazing. He does have a website, Katzner Photography. And he tells a picture as he shows each photograph of the behavior and the love that he felt from the elephants. He told of their first stop in Africa was a special place where they have giraffes running around the property, free to go, free to poke their heads in your second floor window. It was delightful. I've never experienced Africa like that. And wow. Let's see, that was, who did I count? Danny and Claudia and David and our own special David Best, that you know, who broadcasts every Monday and Friday. And he brought his mother, Vidi, who is now living with David and enhancing each other's life. It's lovely. So I want to talk about the magic and miracles that happened in the kitchen. That's where a lot of miracles happen. Before dinner, of course. So let me set the stage. My task was to aid the cooks. I was not the chief cook and bottle washer. I was the helper. I was the aide who told them where they could find an egg beater or where they could find that particular bowl or whatever. So I served in a nice capacity. And then Danny took over and made his now famous spatchcock chicken. I had to write that down. And he did surgery precedes the oven, And that's a whole other story of how he prepares the chicken. And it was delicious. And Claudia did everything else. The sweet potatoes that I've never tasted as wonderful as these were. And now I'm skipping to, we have a forever tradition, which is really the title of today's connection. Tradition. Well, for old time's sake and tradition, I asked Danny if he would pick up the angel food cake mix. And I digress a bit because angel food cake is a tradition in my family. It was, for as long as I can remember, it was embraced, enjoyed, and pulled at by tiny hands for ages. David is about to be a grandpa. And I remember when his little hands were pulling the angel food cake because his beautiful daughter Danielle is due in March. And you know what that will make me? Yeah. That's kind of exciting. Now, was when I, let's see. Oh, that's right. While I was having the time of my life with the guests and left Danny and Claudia alone in the kitchen, when I went back, Danny said, I finished the angel food cake. We were going to do that together. But he took it upon himself. And that was the most thrilling moment for me. Because Danny picked up the tradition. And now he knows. And many, many more tiny hands will pull at it and squish it and make it into little animals, whatever. But we have the angel food cake tradition. And they did it. They did it. They prepared the whole dinner. I was a guest. That was amazing. And my beautiful granddaughter, Megan, made, and she's expecting in June, she sent her own baked challah. And for those of you who don't know that, it's a delicious hand-twisted bread, light, and makes amazing French toast. So there you have it. The kitchen was busy and buzzing. David was out here showing us his photography of Africa, and Vidi was enthralled. That's David's mom. And I want him to do a whole presentation. But in the meantime, you can go to his website, Katzner Photography. It was humming. It was buzzing with joy and happiness and celebration. And you know the best part? Now it's in each of our memories, and we can play it and replay it as many times as we would like. And that's what I'm wishing for all of you, to create those celebrations, make them happen, and enjoy them over and over again. Let's see what I have here. Oh, yeah, I did that. I think this is just a happy broadcasting our happiness to you, our traditions. And I would love to hear your traditions, because traditions are to be enjoyed, played often, and passed down. Do you have a tradition you love? Tell me, email me. I'd love to hear it. Tradition is a wonderful concept that nothing ever ends. It's carried forth. Celebrations are enjoyed and re-enjoyed. And this being Christmas week, I didn't have an art class. But I'll tell you a little story. My most ardent admirers of my art is my family. And Danny didn't hesitate to tell me that he loved this one particular painting. This was years ago when I was just starting. And he said, "Oh, Mom, I love that." So I had it in the cardboard, ready to send to him in New York. I couldn't do it. Because if he loved it, I couldn't part with it. At any rate, as he sat at the dinner table, I presented him with this piece of artwork that I was so reluctant to send to him. But now I have hundreds. And this is what came. We didn't have an art class this week, but I have this up in the kitchen, and I can't walk by it without stopping and saying, "I like that." So here it is. I have no recollection of doing this, but here it is. You've seen it before, but it caught my eye, so I share it with you. This certainly has become a tradition of creating magic, sharing it with you, hearing your response, feeling your love, and sending you some more. There's no better way to continue the joy and the love. Celebrate together. Celebrate yourself. I have a big birthday coming up, and people are coming from everywhere. But the most important word is to see each other, embrace one another. And with that comes what I always wish for you: a perfect life with perfect health and a wonderful future. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Barbara.